Well, hey everybody, I'm John Rethland, and this is my review of WWE NXT for December 11th, 2019, the second to last episode of the year. This year has done flown by, hasn't it? It's been a really interesting one for wrestling all over the world, quite frankly, but just in the last couple months with this whole Wednesday night war, you have AEW, you have NXT, which one's better, which one's worse from week to week, or you like me and you can enjoy the great aspects and, condemn the bad aspects of both brands. Really, it's an up and down thing, and honestly, it's just great to have two wrestling companies that you can enjoy on any given Wednesday. It's just really a lot of fun, isn't it? But before I get into my review, quick shout out to cat_woman13 on YouTube. Abby Normal Wrestling Thoughts, AB Normal Wrestling Thoughts. I'll put the title in the description. She has a YouTube channel. After doing some Twitter videos for a few weeks, she decided to start her own YouTube channel. I love it. I think she has some great thoughts and, humor when it comes to wrestling, some great takes. She does reviews of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. You guys have given me plenty of love over the last few years. You guys have helped my channel grow a ton. Myself and the Durbinator are really appreciative of it. And it's just awesome how supportive you guys have been. So let's give her some love. She does have some great takes and is a very passionate wrestling fan. I would love to see her channel grow. And I'll use what little bit of YouTube celebrity I have as a wrestling fan to just give her more of a buzz. She really does deserve that. So, with that being said, let's start with this review, and honestly, this was a tale of two shows. Started hot, finished hot, and the middle was kind of to me. I know that there are a lot of people that really do love NXT, and that's great. It does have a lot more buzz now than it did when it was taped, since coming onto USA. And that's understandable. It's also gotten to the point where they're hot-shotting a whole lot of stuff. Storylines don't take as long to develop. Some do. Some just feel like they're being hot-shotted, from week to week. But when you're trying to win a ratings war and you got a whole bunch of money behind you like NXT on USA does, it kind of makes sense. So anyway, we have recaps of last week's events, and Adam Cole, baby, interrupts the whole thing to say, well, it doesn't matter who wins because I'm going to beat their ass in the main event. And then we get Angel Garza gain a huge pop. Apparently they flew in a lot of women, or just a lot of women flooded to Full Sail to cheer on Angel Garza, the man who does the dance with no pants, a little bit later in this match. But anyway, we have Lio Rush versus Angel Garza NXT title match, and I'm not even going to try to recap all the moves, though I will say there was some pretty cool stuff. You did have Lio jumpstarting. I've never been the biggest fan of Lio Rush, so I will say this match was fast-paced. It was well done. It did slow down a few times, which is fine, because you can only go 100 miles an hour for so long. Brawled for a bit. A lot of flippy shit. Of course it's flippy shit. The pant removal was prevented by Lio, frustrating everybody, including Beth. There was a cool moonsault to the outside. There was a big old avalanche Spanish fly. And of course, Mauro at one point goes, Madre mia, Mamma mia. It was just fine. Mauro had some good lines here, and Beth actually had a good line. I've been critical of Beth, but I'm going to tell you one good line she had on commentary a little later. They had, their kick battle, and then both men fell over, and, Lio ends up removing Garza's pants, which frustrates him, frustrates Beth in particular. That was funny. We get a final hour to the outside, but no, Garza gets his knees up, hits the wing clipper for 2, and gets a wing clipper variation submission, and gets Lio to tap out. New NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Good. It was a bit surprising. I actually thought that they were going to have Garza lose here, but they didn't have Garza lose. They had Lio drop the title. I mean, and shockingly, despite the fact he'd only had it just over a month, I think. I think he'd had maybe a month and a half. So it was what it was. It was good stuff. And again, I've never been the biggest fan of Lio, but I will say it was a good match. Garza celebrates. And then we get a package of Shayna Baszler fixing up cars. Muscle cars. She loves muscle cars and how she's going to beat Rhea's ass. Okay, good. These video packages are very, very good. And then we get the first of a few, video, video hype packages for the main event. And we get Finn Balor's package on display. I'm just going to let that sink in for a little bit because I know there's plenty of Finn Balor fans on for my channel. But we then get, and that was good. He was just saying, my future is my past. I'm going to win, all that. It was some good stuff. And then we get some clips of stuff that we did not get to see after Angel Garza had won the Cruiserweight Championship. He proposes to his girlfriend, and it was so brilliant, it was so fun, and it was so fucking staged. Hi, I'm John Ritlin. I enjoy ruining things. Look, in all seriousness, great for them. Maybe it wasn't staged. It could have been spontaneous. I don't know. If he's happy and she's happy and they're happy together, great. Man, I just love, letting the air out of the balloon on things, don't I? So it was fine. It was really good stuff. In all honesty, as cynical and goofy as I can be. And then we get Raul Mendoza versus Cameron Grimes. This match was supposed to, this match is kind of like, from a revenge thing that happened before. We're supposed to be Raul Mendoza versus Kushida, and then Cameron Grimes attacked Mendoza last week or a couple weeks ago. We get some of the weeks run together for me, so if I forget exactly when things happen, if it was a week or 2 weeks before, I do apologize. I watch 4 different wrestling companies, so I'm sorry if some of the current stuff blends in a little bit for me. But then Cameron Grimes beats Kushida down, in a beatdown before. And then Raul Mendoza wants his revenge on Cameron Grimes. And we get a little bit of a scrap. Mendoza starts off hot. Grimes gets distracted because Kushida comes out there. And then we get a quick roll up, 1, 2, 3. So Raul Mendoza gets the victory. And then Kushida takes his hat and then, does this and does the tip of the hat thing. And that was pretty funny. It was what it was. Okay, it was a bit weird, but hey, we're trying to build a feud with Cameron Grimes and Kushida. I'm for it. I think it's going to be good stuff. And you're giving Kushida different guys to work with, and Cameron Grimes is getting a bit of a build after getting some victories and building up a reputation. That double stump is still thought of pretty damn highly. And then we get Mia wanting to fight Dakota, getting revenge on her for the whole thing that happened, before NXT TakeOver War Games. Well, before the event actually happened, but she's gonna beat her ass. She's gonna beat her down and everything, all that. Okay, cool. It was a typical promo. We then get Travis Banks versus Jackson Riker of the Forgotten Sons. I didn't care, even though both these guys are good athletes. It was fine. Banks did bleed above the eye. Travis Banks cannot catch a break. He's either getting injured or he's bleeding in a match. And he gets an enziguri and did 1, 2, 3. He gets a big old kick, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. And he escapes. The Forgotten Sons are a shit gimmick. They just are. And then we get Dakota Kai versus Mia Yim. Mia wanting her revenge and starting off hot, beating her down, everything. Kai eventually takes over after a few minutes, grinding her down. Stop that. Mia ends up, with a code blue, but that just gets 2. After a bit more back and forth, it looks like Dakota's getting desperate. She tries to use a knee brace. Referee takes that away. As the referee takes that away, she exposes a turnbuckle. This is an awkward exposed turnbuckle spot where Mia's face went into it. Dakota got the victory. I don't mind a heel having to cheat to win, so I totally get why they did it. I just hope that doesn't become a recurring thing. Get it where, maybe they build it and Mia eventually gets the victory from her, say, at the next TakeOver, because you could build this for a couple months. I mean, even though they're hot-shotting, like I have said, they are hot-shotting a lot of stuff. They could get this... They could extend this a little bit, which means it will probably be blown off on the first episode of the year. But it was fine. It was fine. Then Mia attacks her afterwards, sends her into the production area, and there are these 2 tables set up that Mia has, and it's really awkward. It was it was a belly-to-back suplex, but it was just this really bad, really bad, landing. It looked like Dakota's head hit the table. The second table, and Mia's head hit the back of that table also. So hopefully they're both okay. It did look a little bit deadly, but it was cool. It's nice to see they're letting these women take some more risks as opposed to just a few years before. Though NXT's women's division has been ahead of what Raw and SmackDown were doing until recently, and now I'd say they're pretty equal, though the NXT women's division may be just a little bit ahead because it's a little more open down there. And we then get Keith Lee's Limitless package right after Mia Yim, displays her dominance over Dakota. And then we get Breezango and 2 nurses. I think this is how some pornos start. Not that I would know anything about that. Beth, at one point, because, Breezango were dressed up like doctors, said, they offered to give me a full body exam, and all I asked for was a flu shot. That was good. That was good. I'm not the biggest fan of Beth on commentary, but that was a pretty good line. And then, they faced the Sings, and it was fine. Breeze was on the receiving end of some hard double-team action, and I know that one of my listeners is going to appreciate that, because I had to say it. And Fandango throws one of the things into the apron with a hard apron bomb. Apron, of course, the hardest part of the ring, and then a leg drop 1, 2, 3. I didn't really care about some of the stuff. Like I said, started hot, finished hot, and stuff in the middle was okay. Rhea video package, brief rundown of her growing up, her in the first Mae Young Classic, and that fucking transformation from being that hometown girl, or that little innocent girl next door, into the whole I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to toss you around, you're going to like it type girl a year later. I like both. Moving on, she's ready for her match with Shayna, all the stuff that caught her up, big events leading up to her match with Shayna. I really hope that Rhea does beat Shayna, and I got nothing against Shayna. I fear that she's not going to, and I fear that they're going to try and, move this out a little bit longer. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Rhea does beat her, only because Shayna showing up, and beating Becky down on the first Raw of, say, of the new year would actually be the right call. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because NXT is going to be off on Christmas and back on New Year's. It wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. What do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know if you think that Rhea's going to win, or if they're going to try to do something. Because if Shayna beats her clean, then what the fuck else are you going to do? Because then Shayna's beating everybody. And there's nothing wrong with having a dominant run if you make it interesting. At this point, they've gotten to where, as far as they can go with it without getting ridiculous. Kind of like with Asuka's reign. I love Asuka's reign, but I also recognize that it did some damage. So, we then get to Kayden Carter versus Bianca Belair's whipping action involving 2 African-American women. Because Michael Hayes must have booked this. It was fine. Kayden got in a few moves. KOD for the win. It wasn't I didn't care. It wasn't these 2 women don't deserve respect. I just didn't care about the match. Undisputed Era, well, actually, it's just the leader, Adam Cole, baby, from the Crow's Nest. He's going to watch the main event, which then led to a Ciampa video package. Goalie's coming home, or Daddy's coming home. Gross. We get Finn Balor versus Tommaso Ciampa versus Keith Lee, number 1 contenders match. And, well, this was something. This was quite a match, actually. This was a lot of fun. I'm not going to recap all the spots, because we would be here all day. I encourage you guys to go check this out. The first match and the last match. Really, if you were to skip through some of the other matches I referred to, no disrespect to some of the other towns, this is very much a hype show for next week, since it's going to be the last one of the year. They did the Don't You Forget About Keith chants, which was pretty cool. Cultaholic started that, of course. That was nice. Or popularized it, at least, on one of their streams. I believe their stream for TakeOver War Games. And we then get lots of double team action. We get a double TDT off the ropes by Ciampa. We get Keith Lee, and I mean others, but Keith Lee in particular, just beating one motherfucker with another motherfucker, as a dirt might say. Lee shining. We had Lee hitting this one move, and Morrow, nothing but a Lee thing. Never change, Morrow. Morrow, I don't think brought his Twitter back, but even if he did, never change, Morrow. Just never change. Good God, that guy's just great. Lee lifting both men as they come back from break, because it looked like Ciampa was going to try for an air raid crash. But no, Lee's like, I'm going to lift you both. You're both, about 425, 450 pounds combined. I think something like that, or it might actually be only about 420. Still, he lifted up 2 men, and that was impressive. Stomped by Balor out of a spirit bomb, but that was just for 2. We get an air raid crash to Lee. Ciampa picking up Lee with his knees that had been surgically repaired for 2. Spirit bomb to Ciampa, but then a coup de grace right off the top. 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor is your new number 1 contender. And expect Johnny Gargano to come back and cost Balor the match next week. If that isn't what happens, then we're gaining a new champion, because there is no way that Adam Cole is beating Finn Balor clean. Not after that. Not after what they've been doing. And I mean, I got nothing against Cole, but I'm just saying, if you beat Finn Balor clean, that's going to take it all away. Give it an out and have Gargano come back. At least that's my guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe you could have Ciampa show up, but at that point, it would make it seem like Ciampa was a bit of a sore loser, even though they've had this interwoven storyline thing. So what do you guys think is going to happen, in all honesty? Do you think Gargano's going to come back and cost Balor the match? Do you think Riddle's going to cost him the match? I think it's probably going to be Gargano. I'm going to be honest, though. The video packages were nice. The opening match and the ending match were nice. The rest of the show was kind of filler. It was a hot crowd. There were some good moments, but it's just about on par with Dynamite to me. I'm giving it a B minus. I give the same grade to AEW Dynamite. I have to be fair when a show is good but not great to grade it fairly. So B minus, pull up there. If not, please leave in the comments what you guys think. And if you guys think I'm too critical, feel free to tell me. But once again, check out Abby Normal Wrestling Thoughts. She does some really good stuff. Cat_woman13. And I will be back for a SmackDown review. Also, check out, the other movie reviews I'm going to have up here in the next week. But anyway, like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. Also, check out all the end of year shows I've done so far. And pay attention for the top 50 favorite matches I'll be doing soon. I'll see you soon.